a 14-year-old girl. Before her eyes, her entire family is brutally slaughtered. She is kidnapped, enslaved. But the truly shocking part comes years later when she is finally rescued. Because the story of Olive Oatman is far more complicated than you might think. The blue tattoo on her face wasn't just a mark, it hid one of the most disturbing questions in American history. March 1851. The 9-member Oatman family, traveling from Illinois to California, makes a fatal mistake. At Maricopa Wells, they receive a clear warning from the local tribes. Don't go any further. Dangerous tribes ahead. But Olive's father, Royce Oatman, ignores the warning. While the other families choose to stay where it's safe, the Oatmans continue alone. Only 4 days later, fate catches up with them on a hillside near the Gila River. 19 Yavapai tribesmen, armed with clubs and bows, appear before them. They demand tobacco and food. Royce Oatman refuses to give away their remaining supplies. That refusal turns into a savage attack. Now imagine this. If you were 14 years old and saw your entire family torn apart in front of you, how would you survive that trauma? Or could you ever truly survive it? Olive is knocked unconscious by a blow to the head. When she wakes, her parents, her 3-year-old sister, and the baby, 4 siblings in total, are dead. The attackers strip the bodies, loot the wagons. Only she and her 7-year-old sister, Marianne, remain, now captives. Their 15-year-old brother, Lorenzo, is believed to be dead, but miraculously he survives, wounded, bleeding, and unconscious, thrown among the rocks. Days later, he returns, buries his family beneath stones, and makes a vow. He will find his sisters, no matter the cost. For Olive and Marianne, the real nightmare is just beginning. The Yavapai tribe treats them as slaves, forcing them to haul water, gather wood, and endure constant beatings. Their shoes and hats are taken away. They're forced to walk 60 miles barefoot. This torment lasts for a year. Then one day everything changes. Traders from the Mohave tribe arrive, and the chief's daughter, Topeka, sees the girls' condition. She insists on saving them. The Yavapai refuse at first, but Topeka doesn't give up. Finally, a deal is struck. 2 horses, vegetables, blankets, and beads in exchange for the girls. After walking for days, Olive and Marianne arrive at the Mohave village by the Colorado River. What awaits them there is something they never expected: kindness. The Mohave are nothing like the Yavapai. They give the girls land of their own, treat them not as slaves but as family. Slowly, Olive and Marianne begin to adapt to their new life. And then comes the most crucial moment: the tattoos. Both girls receive traditional Mohave tattoos on their chins and arms. But these aren't decorations. According to Mohave belief, these marks ensure that, after death, they'll be recognized by their ancestors in the land of the dead. This is important. The Mohave never tattoo their slaves. Wearing that mark means being a full member of the tribe. So the question is, were Olive and Marianne tattooed by force, or did they willingly accept it? In 1855, a terrible famine strikes. Many Mohave die of hunger. Little Marianne, now about 10 or 11, cannot survive it. Olive does everything she can, giving her fruits, roots, bird eggs, anything she finds. But it's not enough. Marianne dies of starvation. Now Olive is completely alone. Her real family is gone. Her little sister is dead. All she has left is her Mohave family. In 1856, white railroad surveyors arrive in the Mohave Valley. They stay for a week, trading with the tribe. Olive doesn't reveal herself. Why? Because she no longer sees herself as a white woman? Or was there another reason? But rumors spread. A white girl is living with the Mohave. The story reaches Fort Yuma. Her brother Lorenzo hears it and realizes it's time to fulfill his vow. A man named Francisco is sent from Fort Yuma with horses and blankets to negotiate Olive's release. The Mohave refuse at first. They love Olive and don't want to let her go. But Francisco delivers a threat. If you don't, the whites will come and destroy your village. Out of fear, they agree. 20 days later, Olive arrives at Fort Yuma. People cheer and celebrate, but her condition shocks everyone. She no longer speaks English, fully adapted to the Mohave way of life. After 5 years, she reunites with Lorenzo. Their meeting becomes national news. But the real question is, was Olive truly happy to be rescued? In 1857, a minister named Royal Byron Stratton hears her story. He writes a book called Life Among the Indians. It becomes a bestseller, selling 30,000 copies. But there's a big problem. In the book, Olive claims she was held captive by the Mohave against her will, that she was afraid, that she tried to escape. She says the tattoo on her face was a mark of slavery. She calls the Mohave her savage masters, yet her friend Susan Thompson later confesses the truth. Olive was grieving because she had been taken away by force. And there's an even more shocking rumor that Olive had a husband and 2 sons among the Mohave. Olive never admitted this, always denied it. But what was the truth? She begins touring America to promote the book. People buy tickets just to see her. Why? Because she is the first known white American woman with a tattoo. Her blue tattoo becomes an object of fascination. At the same time, female public speakers were extremely rare. Olive becomes one of the first. She continues touring for 6 years. Then she marries a wealthy rancher, John Fairchild. John protects her from the media, even collects and burns every copy of Stratton's book he can find. They never have biological children but adopt a girl named Mary Elizabeth. Still, Olive's past won't let her go. She falls into depression, suffers emotional breakdowns. Her condition worsens so much that she has a nervous collapse. She even travels to a spa in Canada for treatment, but nothing works. She begins wearing a veil to hide her tattoo, withdraws from society, devotes herself to helping orphans, perhaps trying to give meaning to her trauma. She lives in a grand Victorian mansion, surrounded by wealth, yet the emptiness inside never fades. In 1901, her last surviving family member, Lorenzo, dies. 2 years later, on March 20th, 1903, Olive Oatman dies of a heart attack at age 65. Olive Oatman's story is not just one of massacre and captivity, it's a story of identity, belonging, and trauma. That blue tattoo reflects one of history's most haunting questions. Is being rescued always a good thing? Did Olive truly return home, or did she leave her real home behind? Maybe some questions have no answers. Maybe that tattoo was more than a tribal mark. Maybe it was the permanent trace of a lost life. Do you know what's written on Olive Oatman's tombstone? Just a name. But that tattoo on her face, even 120 years after her death, is still being talked about, because some stories never really end.